I'm stuck in my freaking engine bay right now. Okay, why are we not getting oil up here? Welcome to another episode of American Detour. I got my American Detour merch on. I got my 6'5" shirt on and my American Detour hat, which is fantastic. You can buy it on our website if you really want to buy some. I really appreciate it. What we're doing on this episode is I got the headers all bolted up. God dang it, people stop texting me. Got the headers bolted up. I also bought a oil dipstick because I don't have one. Actually, I do, but it broke. We are going to get everything put back on. All the motor, everything in the engine bay completely put back together to where I can at least have this thing running sustainably and possibly even drive it. We got ourselves a little bit of a list made here. It's kind of hard to see. I've got header bolts, fuel lines, water pump gaskets, vacuum lines, radiator hoses, dipstick, front accessories, coolant, quick disconnect. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not that big of a deal, but we can go ahead and cross off the header bolts. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I literally wrote this on here after I already did it, just so I had the pleasure of crossing it off. We're gonna tackle the dipstick next, and get that put in there. To make sure that I still have oil in this thing, should I actually put the oil pressure gauge in the back of the block, because in the last video, that's what was spraying out everywhere. So I got that put in, it's not leaking from what I can see, at least not yet. Greasy. Okay, anyway, when your dipstick's the only thing in your truck that's even remotely performance oriented, apparently. Asked the guy at AutoZone, I was like, I need a dipstick for an 89 K2500. He's like, oh, that's in the performance section. I was like, so the reason I was having so much trouble with the old dipstick, or the new dipstick, is because there's a bigger diameter than the actual dipstick that's supposed to be in here. So I pulled the one off my 4.3. It does fit. I just have to figure out why this is nowhere near the bolt hole that it's supposed to be in, which I'm still trying to figure out, but worry about that later. What's next is got my vacuum lines out, the ones that are still good enough to use again. Definitely gonna have to go get a few more to put on here. Not a big deal. I got some back at the barn. That squirty noise, you hear that? Found our culprit. It's that bottom oil line. See it seeping a little bit? That's all right. That's a small issue. That means we're making oil pressure, which is fantastic. It's a smoky mess in here right now, by the way. Oh my God. You are not going to freaking guess what happened. So I'm sitting there messing around. I'm like, shoot, I really need to get the fuel hooked up. Like, I need to get fuel lines done, but most of all, I need to get the fuel to actually work, because the fuel hasn't been working. And I'm sitting there, and for an hour, a straight up freaking hour, I'm like, what is wrong? What am I not doing right? I'm looking at freaking the wiring. I'm like, I don't get it. And then I noticed I was looking at the wrong wiring loom. Oh my God, it's the only three I haven't hooked up. I ran up here quickly, hooked them up. Well, let me show you something here, buddy. I tried it another time. Watch right here. Right there. That means we're gonna have a running truck. I'm so excited. Okay, so right now I'm just putting on a temporary fuel line. I mean, it's gonna run, obviously. I honestly just wanna listen to it run for more than 2 seconds. It didn't even smoke hardly at all. Distributor needs a little bit of time or adjustment, but oh my God. That was amazing. Amazing. Right now I'm just kind of going through here checking for any obvious oil leaks, and I don't see any. Yeah, some stuff looks greasy, but that's because of the transmission line leaking everywhere. Looks good. Today I got to tackle hooking up our shifter linkage for the actual transmission itself, get that all hooked in. I would really like, so I don't have the rear drive shaft in, but the front drive shaft is in, and I would really like to be able to test to make sure that the four-wheel drive is actually engaging. So I want to hook up our shifter linkage and be able to try that and maybe move it back and forth. I don't know, see what happens. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Gonna have to reroute these fuel lines. That's what I was messing with there for a while. Because both of these were ran terribly because the guy I got this from before me did a terrible job of building this truck because he literally took out the factory braided lines without just replacing them with more braided lines. No, that would be too freaking hard. So he pre-bent these god-awful freaking hard lines and they leak like a sieve once pressure goes through them. So it's like I get one step forward, 3 steps back, but that's kind of the vibe of this entire truck, so I'm just kind of getting used to it at this point. Finally, got our fuel lines both ran, the in and the return. And then also I went through and cleaned up all of the wiring for the most part yet. So I got the spark plug wires all cleaned up. Some of the wires up top here are cleaned up. Still haven't cleaned those up yet. But the biggest thing is I got the accessory plate off that other motor. I had to take a Sawzall and cut in behind there in the other motor because of course it was welded to that motor. Still in the process of putting it all back together, but it sits on there solid. Still got to bolt on the alternator completely. I need to hook up a few more vacuum lines. And then once I do that, we're gonna start this truck up again. And here it runs with all, you know, all the fuel lines hooked up, all the vacuum lines hooked up, everything hooked up properly. We're gonna try starting it again. I've got everything for the most part hooked up just to be able to run it and try giving her a few revs, see how she does. Might have to adjust the timing a little bit because it may have gotten a little goobered up, but see what she does. I'm really freaking nervous. Every time I start it, I'm terrified. Well, let's give it one more go. Okay. It looks like everything's getting oil over here. It seems to be oiling properly. I just want to start it one more time. One more time to double check everything. Okay, why are we not getting oil up here? What the hell is going on? I mean, it looks as if everything's getting oil down there, but I don't know why I'm not seeing oil spray around up here. So we're gonna gamble here to see if oil is actually gonna make its way up to the top of the heads. It's either A, going to eventually pump up and get to the top, or B, lock the motor up. So I guess we're gonna find out. Okay, we have oil pressure. It just seems that way. And that's what we're gonna go with. Oh my God. It's time to finish up the 89 and get this thing driving out of the garage. We got new water pump, we've got a belt, we've got transmission lines, an O-ring kit for our bottom oil cooler line. Literally everything it'll take to finish this truck up and get it driving out of this garage. So I might not do a whole lot of talking, but there's gonna be a whole lot of clips of me just hammering this truck out and getting it out of the garage. So next steps are, I found it. It's the like the quick disconnect inlet for the coolant that comes into the intake here. That's what this is right here. The actual like fitting itself. I found it was just laying behind the truck. It's wild the things you find that you need and you're stressing, because there's one on my 4.3 intake, but I could not get it off for the life of me. So I was like, crap, I have to go get another one. Nope, it just appeared back there. Like, random things are just appearing for this truck. It's kind of weird, but that's beside the point. But after I get that done, I'm gonna finish cleaning up this wiring over here, get underneath the truck and zip tie up my fuel lines so that they're out of the way of everything and they're nice and ran very clean. So that's all good to go. We are getting somewhere, boys. Try and get the O2 sensor off of my 94 Silverado out here. Try to get the O2 sensor out of that exhaust. It's probably not gonna work, but I'm still gonna give it a go. Okay. Oh my God, someone stole my motor. Oh, is that thing broken? I don't think it is. Wait, yes it is. God dang it. The wind caught the hood and locked it on top of me. I'm stuck in my freaking engine bay right now. I'm gonna have to see if I can even crawl underneath there. Worst part is that this truck is like stuck in the mud. Though I might be able to reach that latch, the hood latch cable. It's just latched on the first click, like it's not fully latched. Oh, there it is. We're finally at the point to where we're getting ready to pour like coolant and water in the radiator. That's how close we are. The only things I have left to do is like to connect one of the heater hose lines. I got a new one a second ago. Throw that on and then literally pour water and coolant in the radiator and then fire it up and see how she does. Well, I just had a mini heart attack. I was putting coolant in here and it started pouring out of the head, and I thought, oh my God, my head's not fully seated. Nope, it's just that one little galley that was also unplugged. I don't know what it is with this motor and coolant galleys being, you know, not filled in. I don't know what that's all about, but I'll have to find me a plug, either go get another one or see if I got something. I'm not sure if that's a pipe plug or what that is. I have to look around the rest of the motor to see what's in those, but all right, new pipe plugs in. Grabbed one off the 4.3 head, and all the oil's in the motor. I'm gonna have to fill the transmission up with the ATF as it's running, but we're ready to start it and let it heat cycle. And then while it's heat cycling, I'm gonna check all the fluids as it's doing its thing. I'm terrified right now. Honest to God, I am absolutely terrified. But let's crank her up, let her run, and I'll keep checking for leaks while it's running. Got her running pretty decent. Boys, she is heat cycled for over an hour now and runs awesome. After I got all the valves adjusted, it runs really, really well. And I'll fire up real quick just to show you. Dude, this thing runs so good. Like, seriously, this thing runs way better than I ever thought it would run. And I couldn't be more proud of this freaking build. Like, this is taking a lot of time. And like, from the beginning of this build to now, like, so much has happened in my life. And it doesn't matter right now because I achieved one of the biggest goals in my life currently, which was this. I mean, literally this. I mean, this is what I've been wanting, was to, you know, finish this truck up. And I proved to myself and to other people, a lot of you haters, that we can do something, we can build something, and we can build it right. So, naysayers, you can go to hell. People that have been following us for a while, thank you so much. That's it for this episode. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Y'all take care. Have a good one. God bless y'all.